Hey guys, welcome to another video on my course on Spring Boot. In today's session, we are going to look into the project structure of Spring Boot application. In the last video, I told you how to create a Spring Boot application using STS. So if you haven't watched that, please first go and watch that. Okay, so we will be going to start with the basic folder structure. Okay, so this is the package explorer, and here our application will be shown. The Spring first app, this is the name of our application, and inside that will show the structures like src main and package names. It will show. Okay, so there will be src main java and src test java. Let us talk about these two first. So src main java is where our main classes will go, such as controller classes, service classes. All those packages and classes will be under this src main. Main means the main application files of the application, while test means, so for these classes we will be having some test classes. So those test classes will come under this src test. Okay, this is the main distinction between these two. And src main resources, so what resources are something related to configurations we are having, such as dot properties file or any other configuration, bootstrap configuration, login configuration, anything, any file which needs to be stored as a part of configuration, we will generally have that under resources. And in resources we can also have some certificates as well. So if you are connecting to aws or something, you will need certificates from your application to connect to that particular website or the servers. So that in that case, security certificates are required. So that will be also placed under this particular resources tab. And let us start with src main java. So under src main java, we are having this com.xyz software.demo. Okay, so from where it picked this particular name, if you remember, during creating the project we gave this particular package name to that, to this application. Okay, so so this is where that package name will come, com.xyz software.demo, and inside that we will be having a spring first application. Okay, so this will be the main spring boot class. Let us open that. So in the middle tab, it is showing us the Java class, and in the right hand side it is showing us the outline. Okay, so this is the Java class name, and this is the one method it is having inside that. If we create more method, let's say we create one more method, public static. Okay, so we are having another method print in this particular class now. So you can see now it is showing one more method over here. So in this we will be getting an outline of a particular Java class. So it is helpful when we are having so many things in our Java class. So in that case it will be helpful. Let us minimize this for now. Okay, so this is our first Spring Boot application, and this is the main class. So this is the runnable class. When we are going to execute our Spring Boot application, it will start from this particular main method, and this is the line spring application.run. This is where our application will get executed. Okay, so it consists of a at that spring boot application annotation. So spring boot application is mostly all about annotation, using annotations. We will be having a lot more annotations in spring boot. We will see them one by one and we'll learn them. So this spring boot application is the main application for our spring boot app. So this will tell that this particular class is hosting a spring boot application, and it will have to run this particular class, start from this particular class. Okay, so that's it for this particular package. And for the next one, src main resources, so static and templates and application.properties. So like I told you, like properties file, configuration files, we will be having this particular resources folder. So application.properties we are having empty as of now, so it is a key value pair. So we will give like spring is equals to hello. So like that we will be giving a different configuration in this particular file. Okay, we can also define port spring. Okay, it will also give us suggestions like spring.aop.auto or what all our functions are available in that. So spring.port, is it giving us spring.port? Okay, spring mail port. Yeah, this is something different, but let it be. Okay, so let us give tad. Okay, so this particular file is used for this particular configuration storing. And static and templates, two things are there. So they are used in case when we are having front end embedded in our spring boot application. So if you are also creating UI in using Spring Boot application itself, using servlets, JSPs, or Themeleaf or any other third-party libraries. You will be having, so under templates we will be having HTML pages. So we can go to file and create an HTML page. Let it be introduction.html. Okay, so inside that we are having our HTML page, and the static we can have some other HTML pages, or we can store images inside this particular static. Okay, so this is how it will work, and when we are using some theme leaf or something, we will have to configure that also using our using configuration classes. We will look that into later. Okay, so this is what this particular resources is used for. And then we come to now test. This test is also having the same package name as our application. So, and inside that it is having a sample test, so spring first application test. Okay, so like that we structure it follows inside that same name as that of the same package name as that of the application, and then this application name and test in after that. So this is what we follow the naming conventions, and this @test denotes that this particular method is a test, and @spring boot test is what denotes in that this particular file in the class path is a Spring Boot test. If we do not give this particular annotation, it will not consider this particular class as a test. So as we so we know that Spring Boot does the auto configuration part. So in that auto configuration part, how it will detect that this particular class is a test class and not a normal Java class. So this particular annotation, when we give this annotation, it will understood, okay, so this is saying that it is a Spring Boot test, and I have to consider this class as a test and not a normal Java class. Okay, so this is what the test, what is there in the test folder, and it is showing us GRE system. Okay, Java SE 17 it is showing. Okay, so this particular are the Java standard dependencies. Okay, so when we install Java, we are having Java based compiler and Java util classes where all the map list everything is stored. So that all is there in this GRE system. Okay, and Maven dependencies. So if you remember that we added 4 extra dependencies, so that will be under this particular. So it is showing us, so we clicked on the Spring Web dependency from Maven. So from that particular, Jackson annotations, Jackson code, Jackson data bind, all these came from that particular only. So this is Maven managed. So all these will be are getting downloaded. So when we started the project, it was downloading some dependencies. So it was downloading these dependencies only, as we mentioned in the during the starting, that download these dependency for Spring Web. So these are the dependencies that it got downloaded during that. Okay, so these all are Maven managed. Okay, like Spring Security we choose. So Spring Security application files, dependency files are also available here. Like that it is there, and after that we are having this src folder. Okay, so what this src folder is, when we create a java classes, then it has to be compiled. So there is a process that java file will be compiled to dot class files, and that dot class files will be read by the interpreter into the machine language code, that is 0 and 1. So this is how it flows. First .java file, then it will be using compiler, it will be converted to .class files, and that .class files will be executed by the JVM, and it will be converted to machine code, that is 0 and 1, using the interpreter. Okay, so this is the flow how it works. So those compile files will be stored inside that. So src main and the file which we are going to create will be there in this particular folder. .class files will be there. Okay, and help.md is just if you want to give some extra information about our project, that what this project is going to do, or what are the steps to follow, what are the Java versions it is going to it will be working on. So all those will be here in this help.md, and mavenw and mavenw.cmd are the dependencies. If we want to the command line tools, if we want to use Maven using command line, we can use these tools, but not at all required. And POM.XML is project object model. this is the name exists for, and it will consist all the dependencies of a project. Okay, all the dependencies in a particular XML format. So this is the format of POM.XML. It is an XML file, and it is showing a, so this is a schema location. So which particular it is following a Maven schema. So this schema is defined at this particular link. So it has to follow that particular structure only. It will be having a model version. So the model version we are having for this project is 4. Okay, Maven 4.0.0 we are using, and it is having a tag parent. So in parent it is going to define the parent dependencies, such as the main dependency, which is the spring framework.boot spring boot dependency, and spring boot starter parent. So using this, this is the main dependency which will get the dependency management system, such as Maven and all the spring boot starting dependencies which are required will be. If we remove this one, then our project will not work. It will show us issues in the dependency management. Okay, and group ID, this is the one which we gave, and artifact ID is the application name which we gave, spring first app, and version. Okay, so it was asking us version in initially, so we let it be the default one. So that particular one has came over here, and this is the name of our application, spring first app. So artifact ID and name can be same or different according to our requirement. And description, demo project for spring boot. And then properties, so we are using Java 17, so the java.version 17 it is there, and we are having a tag called dependency. So inside this dependencies tag we are having different dependencies. So we added HitOS dependency, so it is showing that under list dependencies, it is a list of dependency. Okay, the first one is this one, which is the HitOS dependency. So it is follow GAV coordinates. If you have heard this term, GAV, group ID, artifact ID, and version. So version is not specified in this particular dependency, so it will be always be downloading the latest version using Maven. So group ID is this one, artifact ID is this one, and version is not defined for this particular one. So HitOS is there, security is there, Spring Starter Web is there. So these all are the ones. DevTools is there. These all are the ones we added during the starting of the project. Okay. Okay, and there is one more tag which is worth explaining is build one. This build. Okay, inside build we will be having build related information. Like if you want to create a jar file and what all plugins we are going to use. So it is using Spring Boot Maven plugin. So using this plugin only, it is able to make a jar out of this particular application. Whenever you will give command Maven command to create a jar. So using this plugin, it is going to do all those things. And in that all in this only we have to define all the plugin build related features we have to define in this particular tag only. Okay, and then the project tag is closed. So this is all about the pom.xml file. Okay guys, only this much in this particular video. In the next video we will be covering the other topics ahead of this. So see you till then.